Hello. So I wanted to pass on some sage wisdom from a client of mine. So this past week I was checking in with this client, and she was going through a huge shift in her life. She and her husband divorced last year after 20 years of marriage. So she has been coping not only with the growing pains of managing her new life with her two kids, but also going through the emotional challenges of witnessing her ex-husband and his new girlfriend's new life as well. So I asked her, what has been the #1 coping strategy through all of this? And she said in one big breath, I expect the unexpected. And when she said this, I got chills and electrical zingers all over my body. So in this week's Wild to Wisdom episode, I'm going to explore what it means to have expectations and how we can all learn from the insight and perspective of expecting the unexpected. So welcome back to the Wild to Wisdom series. My name is Suzanne Michelle, and I am your intuition coach. So if you ever have had the real experience of a death or a divorce or a health crisis or a career change or any other life crisis, you know all too well the turbulent, choppy waters of emotions that come up. And soon after, a huge gap or void immediately opens up where you feel really lonely and insecure, and the situation may even feel like it could swallow you whole, right? Well, at some point in the process, you find yourself smack dab in a black hole of the unknown. So what do you do? What do you do when you feel lost and alone? So I asked my client to take a couple steps back through her process before she finally got to the point of, living in a positive state of mind by expecting the unexpected. Well, she thought about this and said that when she was newly divorced, she had a lot of expectations about how things would unfold, such as, she had expectations of how her ex-husband would parent her two kids without her. I mean, she had expectations of, how the new girlfriend would interact with her kids. She said she was just consumed with one expectation after another, and those expectations resulted in a lot of pain for her. I mean, she realized she was placing limited expectations on someone else's life that she had no control over. So, do you see how when we are in the land of the unknown, it's easy to begin to pull out our old mechanistic weapons of old behavior patterns as a way to cope? I mean, she coped through expectations, which is another form of false control over a situation that was out of her control. But she was wise enough to finally realize that through her expectations, she was causing herself more pain for herself. And through this tactic of false control, she was not open to her husband doing his life in a way that was different from how she wanted things to be done, right? She realized these expectations were causing her more pain, and it wasn't doing anyone any good. I mean, can you imagine being in her position and having to watch her life not only, crumble before her, but also have no control in the way things were going to unfold? I mean, so challenging, right? She said one day she just stopped herself and realized that if she could be open to another way of seeing the outcomes of her new life, it would help her to get through the pain and to the other side of peace, which is really what she wanted. She just wanted peace, and that's it. So she began to wonder, what was possible above and beyond her own limited expectations of the situation. So this opened her world up like she had never imagined. And this openness began to stretch and strengthen her muscles of flexibility instead of having a rigid and fixed perspective. So things became lighter for her because she was expecting the unexpected. And so she became pleasantly surprised when her ex would make decisions that actually benefited the kids, even though the decisions weren't the same ones that she would have made, but they were just as valuable and beneficial. And even when he didn't make the best possible choices, she experienced a sense of value and peace because she was living in a state of positive faith rather than control. So she began to experience herself respond with fluidity and flow instead of feelings of, contraction and resistance by reacting negatively to everything he was doing because it wasn't how she would have done it, right? Well, now, I don't know about you, but if you have ever been in a similar situation or, any situation where you have to release control, it's quite humbling when you finally let go of control and you see that life goes on with or without you controlling the levers. And what's even more amazing is that when you let go of the control levers that do not belong to you, you find that sometimes life has a better outcome than you could have created yourself if you stayed in the seat of control. So there you have it. Expect the unexpected by releasing control over someone else's life. And I know it's easier said than done, but one helpful question you can ask yourself is, do I want to feel pain or do I want to feel free? So controlling through expectations will cause pain, whereas expecting the unexpected will free you to create new life experiences for yourself that will ultimately bring you so much more joy and love. So until next time, I am sending you so much love and wisdom from my heart to yours. Have a great day.